Hello, this is Timothy Earl. I am a love, intimacy, and relationship coach, and this is a video podcast called Intimate Realms. And this is my co-host,
Liz Alexander, and I am an intimacy coach as well. I do a multitude of things, but mostly I just love relationships. I love communication, intimacy. And so Timothy and I love geeking out on this. We're so excited to share our conversations with you.
And today we're doing something fun. Liz is going to ask some questions, philosophical questions. I'm going to do my best just to answer them right off the top of my head. I don't know the questions, and you can play along.
Yeah.
Oh, you could even put in the chat your response if you'd like.
All right. And I love that this is a little bit of a deep dive into getting to know Timothy, because I think we'll probably see a little bit of a theme once we hear, the interpretations and answers to a lot of these. Okay. Number one. And now you're going to try to answer like a simple answer so we can get through all 20. Okay. And maybe some of them will be, I don't know. Maybe that's okay to say, but you know everything. Okay. Number one, what is the true essence of reality?
Spaciousness.
Is there a truth?
Yes.
How do we define good and evil?
That's based on your perspective and your belief systems.
Are we truly free to make choices?
No.
What constitutes consciousness?
Either man is creating consciousness or consciousness already exists and man is finally tapping into it.
Does life persist beyond death?
I would hate to make a verdict on that because I don't think anybody actually knows. And I would lean towards no if I had to make a choice. But then again, Carl Jung says we should make a choice. So I'm going to choose that reincarnation exists and I'm on my way to complete and utter everything, everywhere, all at onceness. Go ahead.
What gives life meaning?
Relationships.
How do we understand love?
Deep meditation.
Now, this one's interesting, the way that you interpret dreams. The question is, why are dreams important? What
They
comes
help
to
us
your mind?
understand our subconscious mind and integrate our subconscious with our conscious and possibly super consciousness.
Okay. Can we genuinely experience selflessness?
Yes.
What is the essence of time?
One moment after another in one's organizational brain matter.
Do universal human rights exist?
Yes.
Is progress always beneficial?
No.
How does language shape our thoughts?
Immensely. The more languages we speak, the greater our understanding of even an object is, let alone a color or other perspectives.
I feel like you answered how much does language shape our thoughts? And your answer is immensely. But the question was, how does language shape our thoughts?
It shapes our thoughts because it shapes the way we perceive things.
Okay. Can we choose our emotions, or do they happen to us?
Yes and no.
Is lying ever a good thing?
Yes.
Let's dive into that. In what circumstances is lying a good thing?
Someone says, "Do you like my new haircut?" And you know that they want to hear yes. And so maybe you don't lie outright, but you say, "Do you love your haircut?" They go, "Oh yeah, I love my haircut." You go, "I love that you love your haircut."
I would definitely see right through that if you said that to me. I would immediately go, Timothy hates my haircut. By the way, I cut my hair today. Do you like it?
I love the curls, actually. I was going to say that earlier. I like the, however you're getting the body in there.
Yeah. So you hate the length, but you like the curls. I'm just kidding.
She reads me so well.
Okay.
God.
How does culture form?
Oh. It's the amalgamation of multiple different perspectives coming together. But I'd say culture forms from the environment that we grow up in, both in our family systems as well as our towns and then our nations. And media plays a big role these days. Social media, the language, again, is influencing the culture.
As an anthropologist, I concur with your answer. Okay, is attractiveness a cultural construct?
Yes.
I was imagining you would say something about the energetics of attractiveness that are outside of cultural constructs.
For me, yeah. But I think when we look at culture, the United States, for example, I think that attractiveness is, and what's attractive is being shaped by magazines, media, all kinds of things. For me, it would be more, attraction would be more energetically based and less on the person's physical appearance or even maybe their intellectual capacities. So, but for other people who are outside of the norm, I'm making a judgment. I have a perspective or a belief that your average American looks at physical beauty as attraction and has an idea of what beauty is based on the media that they absorb. I'd like to think that there are more people who actually are attracted to the personality or the emotional intelligence or the energetic embodiment of an individual.
Yeah, it makes me think of the movie Shallow Hal, where he sees only the inner beauty. Yeah. Okay. I love this one. Is there a difference between faith and superstition? And what is the difference, in your opinion?
Faith is like strong hope or a belief in something other than science, other than reality, and believing that it's real. Superstition is if I put the bread upside down, I get 7 years of bad luck. There's a French superstition. Or if I break a mirror, I get 7 years of bad luck. These are outright stories that were probably created by people to have the bread look right, have it and not break a mirror because mirrors were expensive, right? So I think superstitions tend to come from wise tales that are there to try to help us. Whereas faith is this inability to accept what actually is, in my opinion.
Okay, last one. What does it mean to feel happy?
You're at peace. You accept reality as it is. And it's really unwavering. Not many people that I know are in a constant state of happiness. I think a lot of people misconstrue, me, myself included, happiness with a plentitude of pleasant sensations, one after the other. And that's not actually happiness. That's a plentitude of pleasant sensations. Having choices, people say, can create happiness. But I think having choices is nice. But there are people who are happy even in the face of great suffering. I'm thinking of Man's Search for Meaning and how he's able to stay relatively at peace through Auschwitz and a very, very difficult time. So I think happiness is something we can cultivate in all circumstances. I think if we talk about what's the purpose of life, I think to cultivate happiness, compassion, for
Right.
ourselves and for each other.
Yeah. Okay, follow-up question. This isn't on there. But there is something really interesting about the hedonic rhythm where you have a set point for your happiness, and some people are just more happy than others. And aside from really painful chronic illness, people will generally go back to the level of happiness where they generally gravitate. So somebody gets into an accident and they lose their, they become paralyzed from the waist down. They may be depressed for a while, but they'll bounce back to their buoyancy level. And then someone who wins the lottery will be really happy, but then they'll come back down to wherever they were. In general, on a scale from 1 to 10, how happy are you?
Hmm. In general, overall, like just, you know,
How happy of a person is that kind of float level?
yeah, are we talking my lifetime, this last year, this last week? Uh, Give me the first
Well,
number that came to mind was like 7. Most of the
okay.
time I'm at a 7. And I strive to hit a 10. But I have times, and I've even had years that were really low. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say I gravitate towards a 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that we can increase that over time.
Meditation, I believe, has helped me maybe not increase it, but well, yes, increase, not go from a 7 higher, but have more time in the 7 zone and less
Mm.
at the 3. Meditation has definitely helped with that, whether it be physical suffering, emotional suffering, some kind of mental anxiety. Meditation has helped immensely stay out of those realms and move back into centeredness, peace, happiness.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like meditation is about getting intimate with our thoughts, to really observe the incessant, repetitive, to really notice. For me, I'm like, wow, uh, it's really a time to observe. Of course, I'm not, uh, I'm not like trying to think, but it's just thoughts keep coming because I have not really mastered a pure state of just being. So yeah, meditation for me is about, um, it's a very intimate time with my body and with my thoughts and just watching them go, watching them come and go. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what I would, go ahead.
So as we continue with meditation, it gets easier to, got to be careful here. So the goal of meditation is not to stop thought. It's not to control thought. It is, like, as you said, to be aware of what's happening physically, mentally, emotionally, and to allow, and through the allowance, to come into a deep state of rest, pause, where there are no longer thoughts. But it's not that you're stopping thinking, you're allowing the spaciousness within to expand. And then there are so many other wonderful types of meditation to practice and to learn that bring about different aspects within oneself and also in our relationships with others. So, including the planet itself or spaciousness itself. So, want to definitely encourage anyone who's on the path of meditation or thinking about it, get into it. There's a lot of great apps out there. This sounds so weird coming out of my mouth. Like one of my favorites is FitMind, and it's non-dogmatic, and there are multiple different tracks that you can follow, and there's a lot of good grounded science in this particular app's approach. So,
Why are you saying that? That sounds so weird coming out of your mouth.
I like sitting with my meditation teachers live in person. I feel like I'm going to sound funny again. I'll keep it simple. Try not to go too woo woo. There's a morphic field around each of us, or not morphic. There's a heart math within each of us, and when we sit with other humans, our hearts sync up. And there's also good studies showing that when we meditate with others, we tend to fall into a synchronized brainwave as well. And so if you have a high level meditator in the room, it's like golfing with a high level golfer. Your game score usually will go up. Their score may come down. And I feel that when I sit live with a high practitioner who's really good at meditation, not only am I getting the verbal instruction, but I'm getting their heart math or their wavelength, and it's helping me to experience deeper states of meditation. But FitMind, I think, is good, and it's something that you can use any time of day. Everybody has their phone with them.
Yeah, and it makes it accessible.
And
So
it
that's
walks,
sort of
yeah, and it
good.
walks you through, like, say you're just doing kind of standard Vipassana scanning of the body. It walks you through a process to learn how to do that well. And you've got someone assisting you, and then someone giving you a lecture on the science behind it.
Mhm. My favorite app right now is on Sounds True, and it's a series of short 10-15 minute exercises all about mindfulness, and it's with Tara Brock and I forgot the other person's name, and they
Jack Cornfield.
yeah, and they go back and forth, and it's beautiful. I think the best metaphor, one of the best metaphors that has come from that for me, is about if you put a teaspoon of dye into a glass of water, the whole thing will turn red. But if you put a teaspoon of dye into a lake, it doesn't turn red at all because of that spaciousness, what you're talking about, spaciousness. And so when we have, discomfort, maybe physical pain or something agitating us mentally, when we can increase our spaciousness, that irritation or the pain doesn't overwhelm us. Like, so the pain is the analogy for the tablespoon of red dye. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, I think Tara Brock and Jack Cornfield are really good at dresses. So if you ever get a chance to sit with them live, they're both a lot of fun and very intelligent, very accomplished, knowledgeable.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting us get to know you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is there anything that you wanted to share about your answers when I think it was you and your daughter did this together?
I had her answer most of the questions. We went back and forth a little bit. We talked for a really long time about these and dug deep. I think the good and evil thing is, I think that one's really interesting. And then what was the one that I said was my favorite question?
I can't remember.
Oh, is there a difference between faith and superstition? Because both of them have elements of cause and effect. If I do this, then that will happen. If I pray and I'm saved, I'm going to go to heaven. If a cat walks under a ladder, I think I'm mixing these, whatever. If a black cat breaks a mirror while walking under a ladder, I'm going to have that much for 49 years. But I think the difference for me between the faith and the superstition is that faith is linked to a power source, where superstition almost seems to be because that's the way that it is. There isn't the God element in superstition. I feel like that's a good wrap, actually, because we're at a good time length. But yeah, thanks for asking. Okay.
Lots of fun. Thank you for bringing those questions. And if you want to put your answers in the chat, please do, whether they're just thumbs up, thumbs downs, no, yeses, or full sentences.
Bonus points for who can give the most comedic answers.
I wish you had said that. I would have tried.
Oh, okay. We can do it again.
I was being super serious.
Yeah.
All right. This is Intimate Realms with Timothy Earl and Liz Alexander. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.